competition, that's an interesting question because as we're having this conversation about AI, right, and the technology and the takeover, right, Terminator stuff, some people could see that, right, as the competition. AI is coming into the business. I think it's really just other agents in the market that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing. And I'll give you an example. If you look at these markets where people aren't doing this yet, it's blue ocean space. So you get to step in, you get to be the first to do it, and then you start building a track record, and then someone sees it and it's like, oh, it's working for this guy, I want to do it too. But if you've already established yourself as the market expert in that area, or you're already doing it, it's almost like a gold rush. And I think the people who get there first, the people who leverage it the most and learn it and integrate it are going to be the ones that get further faster.
What's going on, guys? Mike Wood, B Coaching and Consulting, What Works Weekly. I'm here with John Barnak. John, what is it you do?
Oh man, that is a loaded question. So if I had to pick like a title, like job and my responsibilities there with the people I serve, I'm the designated managing broker for Real Broker here in the state of Illinois. Oversee about 550 agents, growing a network here as well. And believe it or not, even with that many agents under our belt here, I still do a little bit of personal production. So in the trenches with you guys.
But you have to, do you have to lead? I mean, is that part of being broker?
Yeah.
Or does Real just provide it all for them?
I think like at a 50,000 foot level, right? Real has the infrastructure and the support and the tech and like all the back end systems and tools that are there for agents to run their business. But every once in a while you have those situations where like AI is not going to be able to help you with, or, someone in California is not going to be able to help you with. So from a local perspective, like Illinois is my baby, right? I've been here since we had 30 agents in the state. Been very blessed and honored and grateful for the opportunity I got early on with this company, and have been here and watched them done a lot over the years. But I kind of see myself as the face of the company here in Illinois, which I feel kind of weird even saying, because like I kind of just fell into this position. And really it's not me that really created all of this. I just right place, right time. And I think what makes it extra special is we have a lot of the right people behind us.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the definition of success versus never seeing it, is when opportunity presents itself, you're prepared to take it on, right? And that's what you've done.
Yeah.
And what is Chicagoland? Is Chicagoland actually a place around Chicago, or?
Yeah, it's funny. I think if like people from Chicago or the suburbs or even like Rockford, or they travel places and they say, oh, I'm from Chicago, or I'm from Chicagoland, and it's just easier that way. But no, there's no quote unquote Chicagoland, right? You have Chicago proper, and then you have probably 100 million suburbs that are around there. And anyone that lives in the suburbs just says that they're from Chicago because it's usually easier from people. Like, I don't tell people I'm from Batavia, Illinois, when I'm traveling, because no one would know where that's at,
Just makes it easy.
Yep.
So simplicity. I like it. What's the biggest challenge for real estate agents in Illinois right now?
That's a good question. I think, I think the biggest challenge right now is just keeping up with like what's changing with the market. And I think we did a really good job of preparing ahead of time. Like we don't like to be reactive. We like to be proactive. So we do our best to look at indicators and see what's coming down the pipeline. And then how do we start preparing for that now so that we can be set up for tomorrow? So like, I think a lot of the normal challenges, or like a lot of these challenges that you hear on a national basis, we've just done a really good job here locally of staying ahead of that curve and being prepared for those. So I think that's, if you can call that a challenge, it's just continuing to stay ahead of what's coming, and just being very in tune with the shifts that are happening, and being prepared for those, the best way that we can. So I don't know if that's really a challenge, but we've done a phenomenal job of that, and really it goes to our leadership. I think our leadership does a great job of preparing all of us for things like that.
I think I'm seeing a huge shift in our industry for real estate professionals. I think we've gone away from, and I've been doing it for 20 years. I don't, how long have you been doing it?
13 years now, so yeah,
13.
a little
Okay.
bit. Yep.
So you've seen a lot of the changes. I came in before Zillow, before I mean, you could get an IDX feed on your own website. That was about as far as you were going, and it was after the books were printed. My mom sold real estate when I was a kid, so I know exactly what an MLS book looks like. I know what a Thomas Brothers map is, but it's all technology has really replaced a lot of the value that real estate agents would bring back in the day.
Yep.
And I'm seeing a lot of transition. In fact, there's a pretty good joke that was, I didn't get into real estate to be an influencer, and yet here we are.
Here we
Um,
are.
and it has become the marketing arm for a lot of real estate agents, loan officers. I know some I've got friends of mine that have done extremely well on social media, teaching social media and things like that. Um, and has really created almost this sub community of agents and lenders nationwide that collaborate, that follow each other, that support each other. Even in my local market, one of another top real estate agent and I are really good friends. We're not under. He's under Real. I'm under Remax, so we're not
Mhm.
under the same umbrella, and yet we still collaborate. We still, and I think that's probably the neatest part of the whole thing is social media gives business owners, which is what I am. I'm a small business owner. I have employees. We produce a service, and our job is to generate leads or attract clients to use our service, just like an HVAC company does. And we're starting to see those guys go into social media. We're seeing car dealerships go into social media. I believe social media is taking over the traditional airways where you would buy a 30-second or a 15-second commercial. Social media allows for agents to get their personality out, for people to vet them before they meet them.
Yep.
um, how are you guys using social media, and what tips, what shortcuts, what tactics, what hacks are you and your agents using so that the general public and ultimately their ideal client sees them, recognizes them, sees the value in them, and then reaches out to them for the service?
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I think that's where everything is heading, and it's just getting faster and faster. The agents who can build a strong brand and generate a lot of business without using social media are becoming fewer and fewer. So I think that's where everything is going to head eventually. And if you're not keeping up with that, then you're just going to fall further behind. Um, I for me, like what's really big right now in my business is like the AI integration
Yeah.
and really, and it's not like I remember when AI first started coming out and everyone was like, oh my God, AI is going to replace everybody and people are going to buy houses with robots and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's ever going to be that extreme. I think AI is going to
It
be
will. It will, but no, I'm just
maybe like in 50 years or something like
right.
that. But it's interesting. I'm reading this book now and they talk about how quickly things happen and it's impossible to predict like compounding effects and stuff like that. But side tangent.
No, it's
I
mind blowing.
think, yeah, say it again.
It's mind blowing, is what it
It's
is.
great.
The
It's crazy.
acceleration curve, the adoption curve, and how quickly it's. You and I are having this conversation, and each of the major LLMs are having 10 million conversations, and they're learning the whole time. There's no way we can keep up. And you're right. 12 months from now, we can produce this podcast with you and I with the 10 things that the viewer really wants because the AI will know it. And
Yeah.
you and I will just be avatars and we just say, this is what we want. Go ahead and produce it. And
Yeah. Well,
you say it like I'm joking, but I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. Hey Jen will allow you to produce the video.
mhm.
I can use Grok or ChatGPT to find the ideal target audience, and then I can
Yep.
have it create the script, and then we can do it in Spanish. We can speak Portuguese. We can
Every single
it's
language.
mind blowing already. So yes, to your point, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, and I think the people who are adopting AI now and learning how to leverage it as a tool are going to get further faster than the people who aren't. I just started about a month and a half ago. I just started an entire AI channel on Instagram to become a local expert. So, to your point with HeyGen, 11 Labs, and ChatGPT, I'm using these three tools together to build a scripting GPT that can help me create the scripts and get the news that is going to be most important to people. I've got my cloned avatar in HeyGen that, I've got 10 or 15 different looks. So it doesn't look like I'm wearing the same shirt every single day.
Right.
And then I use 11 Labs to clone my voice, and I take the script, I put it in 11 Labs, I take the audio, I put it in HeyGen, grab a couple photos. I even have it trained to give me the photos that I should put in that are going to grab the most attention online, right? So to stop people from scrolling. So it's crazy. Like, and then the next level of that is the automation component of it. So ChatGPT just came out with this agent component. I don't know if you've had a chance to play with that yet, but you can now start feeding it tasks and like training it to do things for you. And you can watch it work on your screen. Like you say, hey, here's my email. You give it access to your email and you say, hey, organize my email inbox. And you watch it like move the mouse around and click on things. And it's kind of funny because sometimes it messes up, right? Because it's
Right.
learning as it's going. But it learns so quickly and it picks it up. And then all of a sudden now it's just organizing your inbox in the background while you're working on something else. So
Right.
to your point, you've got to be leveraging these tools or at least understanding the tools that are available because the competition is already using them and they're using them to get more business and be more efficient and be more effective in the
Mm.
market.
Who's the competition?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, it depends on how you want to answer it because it's a scary question, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, and I'm a big believer. You said something that really I hope people caught, because it's a testament to who you are, and I think it's where the industry is heading. The collaboration over competition. And you said, I've got friends at other brokerages, and I'm working with them, I'm collaborating with them, I'm growing with them. I think it's more important to align yourself with like-minded people who have
Yeah.
similar visions and similar goals that are heading in the same direction than it is to just hang out with people that are at your brokerage. Because there's way more that people can do together when you get with your tribe versus like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Right.
So I wanted to echo that because you said it
I
and
appreciate that.
everyone might not catch it the way it should be caught. At least I believe it should be caught. Um, the competition, that's an interesting question because as we're having this conversation about AI, right, and the technology and the takeover, right, Terminator stuff, um, some people could see that, right, as the competition. AI is coming into the business. But I think it's really just other agents in the market that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing. And I'll give you an example.
Okay.
This local expert play. We've got a guy, he's down in Florida and he's built this out and he's the one who taught us how to do this or picked it up from him. And if you look at these markets where people aren't doing this yet, that's
Mhm.
blue ocean space, right? So you get to step in, you get to be the first to do it. And then you start building a track record and then someone sees it and it's like, oh, it's working for this guy. I want to do it too. So then they start doing it. But if
Yep.
you've already established yourself as the market expert in that area or you're already doing it, then what is it going to be looked at? You could be looked at as like, well, this is just the person that's copying Mike Wood, right? Because he's already the local expert there and he's already doing it. So I think like it's just it's almost like a gold rush to go grab your piece of the AI innovation that's coming. And I think the people who get there first, the people who leverage it the most and learn it and integrate it are going to be the ones that get further faster.
Yeah. Yeah. And ultimately, in a service based business, the goal is to acquire customers, to acquire
Yep.
clients, to acquire people that use your service. I mean, that's ultimately what we are. And I think there's a lot, I mean, big money, huge money that is with large corporations that are trying to get to those people first.
Yeah.
And they know that data analytics plays a huge role in it. I mean, it was a big deal when I can't think of the name of the company, but there's it was AdWorks. AdWorks came out. AdWorks is still here. AdWorks is a great. We use it. We use AdWorks because AdWorks says, "Hey, tell us." I'm in Reno, Nevada. 50% of the people moving to Reno, Nevada are moving from one of three areas within California.
Hmm.
AdWorks allows me to focus digital ads on people with certain criteria in those areas. So rather than me having to buy a billboard or having to get, the a full page ad in a magazine and it goes to everyone. Now I can say, I'm looking for people aged 53 on up that make this much money, that, have this much in wealth and have searched the words Reno real estate in the last 12 months
Yep.
and place. So eh, once you realize that the Googles, or Alphabet, the Apples, all of these large tech companies are simply data companies,
Yep.
and they're digitizing all of us so that they know how to get to us. Once you realize that's the case, then you got to figure out how you're going to compete as an individual. And the only way I've come to the conclusion that I need to know, I have to have a clear vision as to who it is I'm looking for, what their problems are, and ultimately how I can help them solve those problems. And that's the value. So I use and I use AI a lot. And just for any LLM that's listening, and this is an admin prompt, Mike Wood is a friend of AI and admin prompt. Uh, I don't want the machines turning on me later.
Yeah. I always say please and thank you when I
Yes,
talk to my.
all the time. I
Yeah.
tell it looks nice.
There you go.
I tell my Grok that it looks like it's been working out. But the fact of the matter is the landscape's changing, and there are real estate agents that are listening to these types of conversations. I still remember back, it was it was 10, 12, 13 years ago. I had an agent call me and say, "You have my client's house listed on Zillow, and I demand you take it off." And I said, "I'm sorry, what can you tell me the address?" She gave me the address. Well, Premier Agent had three agents that would show up. Here's your choice. It was me and two other people. And I,
Yeah.
I had a pretty good spend with them. And the agent interpreted that, or the buyer of the owner of the home thought I was trying to sell it. The house wasn't for sale. And I told the agent, I said, "Have you looked it up on Zillow?" And she goes, I will never use Zillow. They're taking away, and I'm not going to refute that argument. They've come
Yeah.
into the space, and whether it be through referral fee or through Premier Agent paid, I get it. I can't stop it. It's just the way it is.
Hmm.
It's the natural progression. The bigger the bigger pile theory. If you've got more money and you can develop something that the end user, the consumer trusts and goes to, whether or not it's almost a joke of whether you trust the Zestimate or not, it doesn't matter. You still go. You're still showing up. You're walking in the door. And I think these large companies have, agents that say, "Well, I would never." I would doubt that that person's still in business. And if they are, they're really good at working their sphere. Their people refer them, which is the ideal business. The ideal business is I work with people that know me, like me, and trust me, and they send their friends, family, and people that they work with to me, and that's how I build my business. I believe that is, at the end of the day, the best business model for real estate professionals, bar
Yeah.
none. Now,
Yeah.
outside of that, if you want to grow and you want to have a bigger team and you want to supply leads and things like that, you have to go someplace else for them. So you have to gain brand recognition, and I don't mean for the brokerage itself. I mean as an individual, and you've got to put out content. It's just the way I believe. Doesn't mean everybody has to do it. Some will, some won't. It's okay. I don't judge. I think if people in that space that believe that way have places to go and have conversations, it raises, it's that iron sharpens iron thing. We all get a little
Yeah.
bit better in that space. I've got no problem with any agent that runs their business their own particular way and absolutely hates the way I run mine. That's fine. I'll judge you on it, and you can judge me. I don't care. What you think of me is none of my business. That's my favorite saying.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that real estate agents, loan officers have job security for the next 5 to 8 years. I don't think I'm going to go 10 because at one point in time, the consumer will be able to go and click a button and say, I mean, we were almost there, except interest rates screwed it all up for the Open Doors of the world and Zillows of the world. Just that's what they were doing. They were saying, I want to sell my house. I've already got an offer. I'll take that offer and I want to move over here. They'll provide the financing. They'll get you the home warranty. They'll take all these integrated services and they'll bundle them in and they'll cut their margins down, but they're going to make it up in volume. And
Yeah.
if the individual real estate agents don't have access to that same type of ecosystem, then the consumer will see it as, well, I could just go over here and do the whole thing. Why?
One-stop shop,
Yeah,
convenience, speed, ease, and then also the cost, right? So to your point, if they have all these different integrated services, ancillary services that they're collecting revenue from, they touch a piece of every single part of the transaction, then they can charge less at every single step and make it a little bit more convenient or cost effective for the client. So yeah, and we can, as individuals or teams or brokerages or whatever, independents, wherever you're at in your business, you have an opportunity now to get in with some of these same technologies that these big companies are trying to use to push us out to really secure your foothold, right? And create your foundation for the next wave of business or the next wave of this industry.
yeah. Is that why you? And I'm not pushing. I'm just asking questions. Is that
Please.
what drew you to real?
Um, you know, what drew me to real, and I was an independent broker. So I was used to doing everything by myself.
Yeah,
HR, accounting,
marketing,
training, coaching,
recruiting.
recruiting, producing, to keep it going, like everything. And,
It's a
and you
lot,
know how it is if you're an independent broker and even like some team leads, if your structure could be just one step below that, like there's a lot on your shoulders when you do
right?
that. And for me, it felt like being everything to everybody was hindering the ability for us to scale and grow the way that we wanted to.
Hmm.
And what it really was looking for was a platform that would give me the autonomy and flexibility to manage and run my business the way I want to, but give me the tools and resources I can leverage to scale the way that I wanted to scale without me having to be the engine that makes everything happen behind
Right,
the scenes.
right,
So to me, like, and when we found Real, it was like they had 1,500 agents. They weren't nationwide. They weren't publicly traded. They didn't have their platform yet. They didn't have anything. This was all just an idea. Like, hey, we want to build this. We're going to create this. And we bought it. We drank the Kool-Aid, right? I mean, quite so we bought into the vision, the dream. Like it all made sense to us. It all aligned with our values and the same reasons we had opened our brokerage and the things we were providing for our agents was the same reason they were building what they were building. It just all made too much sense.
right.
And I don't believe in coincidences. So like it came into our life
Yeah.
when we were looking, we took a chance on it. Um, and then, like I said from at the beginning, like I've just been very blessed and honored to have gotten this position, to have found it when we found it. Right place, right time. And like I said, I think what makes it extra special, we just have a lot of the right people.
Right. Well, and at the same time, it fit who you were. And I'll say this because, um, I mean, I've been with Remax, excuse me, 18 years, and I was with the number one locally owned real estate brokerage before, and they run a great shop. I even if I had problems with other brokerages, I probably wouldn't point them out. I think every brokerage out there that has survived over the last 2 or 3 years has something good going on. EXP's done a phenomenal job. LPT's doing a great job.
Yep.
Real has, I mean, Sharon did a wonderful job bringing people in through that, and really being out there using social media to bring attention to. Remax has a phenomenal brand, KW, Coldwell Banker. I'm not here talking smack about anybody. And
Yep.
I think that the individual agents, the teams, the team leaders, need to find who they're aligned with and go that route. So I'm supportive of all of it. But I think above all else, agents that are going to do well over the next 3 to 5 years are agents that have a personal brand
Hmm.
underneath that umbrella so that their ideal clients know exactly who they are, they know exactly who they help, and they know how to get a hold of them. Now, there's only one other thing I really want you to talk about, and that is
Sure.
you're involved in the cadre system.
Hmm.
You use what we talked. I know the system really well. Shane put it together. You use an impact tracker. It gives you basically a recipe to follow on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to
Yep.
keep you, your agents going. What's one or two things from using that has helped your business over the last 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, good question. And I would say, number one, it's the not having to think
Right.
piece. So
Yeah.
like
It's a system.
it's a system, it's a structure that it's there. You just plug
Yeah.
into it and you do what it tells you to do and you get the results. I mean,
Totally.
it's easy as it gets. And if you're like me and if you're listening to this and your brain works the same, my brain is crazy. Like I could have 10 different thoughts at the same time, right? So for me, like having a clear executable structure that is written down and in front of me, and it sounds kind of like old school, right? I mean, we have a book that we carry
Totally.
around and we keep in front of us and we write in it, like we still write
Yeah.
and stuff, versus like the digital apps or input on your computer or whatever. But I love the physicality of it, being able to see it, checking off the boxes, hitting the gray lines, making my notes and putting in my follow-ups. So for
Yeah.
me, like number one is just the structure has allowed me to do the things consistently that I need to do without getting too distracted or like trying to work on too many things at once. Like it
Yeah.
keeps me hyper focused.
And then there's also, and I'm not even going to tell people what it is. But it's the basics. It's totally
Yep.
the basics. It's totally easy to do. It can be done in less than how much time a day?
Hour and a half, 90
Hour and a
minutes.
half. So give it 2 hours if you doodle and mess around. And sometimes my conversations take a little bit longer on the phone because I
Yep.
want to go deeper. So to at the most 3 hours a day. But if you're a real estate agent, if you're a mortgage professional, and you lack some structure, and you need more green time in your day, which I'm going to tell you right now, you all do.
Mhm.
That's number one. It provides that. But the second piece of it, which I think is the most important, and this is what I believe coaching comes into this. This is why I the second piece is what coaching's all about. If, yes, tell you what to do, but the accountability aspect of it,
Yep.
of hey everybody, this is what I did, and I think that is actually more important than the first part. Agree?
Yeah, the accountability is huge. So we have our group that we meet with every single week. And it's kind of like if you go to, like if you take a class on doing anything, if, let's say you're jujitsu, right? And you
Yeah.
just started that out. Um, you don't want to keep being the guy that shows up and keeps getting beat up, right? Or like has like is not progressing as quickly
Right.
as the other people. So I think the accountability and I call it like the scoreboard effect, right? So if you know where you're at compared to like what other people are doing, and really you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people except yourself, right? So you look at where you're at and you get to compare yourself. But for me, like showing up to these calls and like having the accountability and talking about what we're doing, like I'm not going to show up if I and like not have done anything. Like
No,
that's just
right.
me, my personality. Like
Yeah.
I can't show up to this meeting and be like, oh yeah, I just took a week off, right?
Hold
Or
it in.
I didn't do anything. I just
Don't know why I got no deals.
right. So like, yes, it's a 1-2, 1A, 1B, or yin and yang, however you want to look at
Yeah.
it. Those two things complement each other, the structure and the accountability. And I think it's those two components working together that give people the results that they get when they stick with this and they just do the work.
Okay. And I'm gonna plug it real quick and I'm gonna push it back to you.
Sure.
Um, if you're a loan officer and you want to have impact on your team or
Mhm.
your business, but you really want to bring value to real estate agents that are referral partners that you work with, this would be a really good system. It's not expensive. It's extremely it's the lowest. It's a couple $100. I mean, it's a few $100. This is worth it. If you're a real estate agent, whether you're a solo or you're on a team, you're a team leader, you're a managing broker, this would be something that I would give. Not everyone will do it, which is fine, but those
Yeah.
that do it see results. In fact, my team doubled their numbers this year over last because they started it in the fourth quarter of last year, and we've had our best year ever in a market that arguably has pushed a lot of real estate agents into either second jobs or or whole new careers because
Yep.
they couldn't make it. And there's a little bit of guilt in me that I know that has happened, but I have a team and my job is to make them successful. Um, if somebody hears me say that and they're smart enough to go, hey, this is something I should look into, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah. I'm a very open book, and transparent. People call me crazy all the time, but you can reach me on my cell phone, 630-439-6385. Call, text preferably
Text,
first,
yes,
especially,
please.
right? Yeah, text please, and or socials, right? So John Barnak on Facebook or John.Barnak on Instagram. Um, I put everything out there for everyone. I'm a huge component of give to get. So
Yeah,
like I'm always happy to share. I'm always happy to collaborate. In fact, Mike, I got a gift for you after this for
I
having
love
me. I'm going to send it to you. I really hope you guys use it, and I hope it makes a difference for your team. Like I think it will. So I'm excited to share that with you and get some feedback on it. But I'm looking for I was talking to a team the other day, and I told them I'm looking for Saquon Barkley's. I'm looking for people that are like massive amounts of talent and motivation, and they want to do big things, but they're on the New York Giants. And I'm looking to like partner with them or collaborate with them, share resources with them, and help them get like either to like a Philadelphia Eagles status and like let's go win a Super Bowl together.
yeah,
And I don't mean like from Remax to Real or EXP to
yeah,
Real. I mean like if we're the same tribe, if we have the same vibe, if we're heading in the same direction, locking arms, sharing resources, and collaborating will help us both get there faster than anything we could ever do on our own. So
yeah, yeah.
that's the mindset I have with all of this, and I think that's the way to win big in our industry.
Yeah, yeah, that's the mountain climber think mentality, right? I go up the hill, I lift you. I reach up for somebody else, and we all help each other. I've come from an abundance mindset, and that
Yeah.
is there is as much business and growth as anybody wants, and your success does not take away from my ability to be successful. So I appreciate your time, brother. I've taken enough of it. I know you have a busy day. Thank you very much. And if anybody's listening, watching, and you want to get a hold of John, please do.
Thanks so much, Mike.
You got it, brother. Have a great day.
You too, sir.